This is Curt at eTrailer, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Konig diamond pattern tire chain with assisted tensioning on our 2024 Jeep Wagoneer L with 275 or 55 R20 tires. We have our tire chains installed on the rear axle of the vehicle, which is actually what is recommended in the owner's manual, and I would suggest you always follow those recommendations. This tire chain is a self-tensioning tire chain, which allows it to fit several tire sizes and adjust it to whatever tension you feel you're most comfortable with and most applies to your particular tire size. Running through these loops here and connecting up here. It's going to stretch here, it's going to have some rubber here to stretch right here to help you out with the fit. It's a square link style of chain. It's made out of a manganese and steel alloy, which is really going to help with corrosion resistance against any of water, obviously, ice, snow, even the salt that's on the road. It's going to help you out with all that. And it's also in a diamond pattern. What a diamond pattern is going to give you is more road contact, and where you're really going to notice the difference in that is when you're making your turns. So another feature of this tire chain is the bag and carrying case that it comes in. Most tire chains come in a basic bag, almost a sack. They do not last long, and generally speaking, they don't keep your chains very well organized. This is fantastic with the handles and the zip up here. It's really going to be easy to carry these around and store in your vehicle. So let's take a look at how we're going to get these installed. Now, you may have noticed that I put on some gloves. This is something that I always recommend that you do whenever you're working with tire chains. Tire chains tend to have small burrs on them, and this will prevent you from getting any kind of cuts on your hand. So the first thing I want to do after getting my gloves on is lay everything out and inspect the chains. What I'm looking for is bad welds, any kinks or twists in it, anything that's really going to compromise the performance of these. These are looking fantastic at the moment, so we're going to go ahead and get them installed. So the first thing I want to do is kind of separate each side of it here, and we're going to take them and get them slid around the back of the tire. We just want to make sure that we're keeping everything separate from one side to the other so we don't get them tangled together. Then once I've got this fed through, I'm going to be taking my chains and centering them. The great thing about a diamond pattern is because of the pattern, it's really easy to see the center compared to the tire. And I'm also checking to make sure that we're not going to be overlapping anything on the front of the wheel here. Now, as we get this in toward the back here, what we're going to notice is this really is just a block and catch. So we're going to get those connected. We're going to maintain control of our chain and get these wrapped around the front and double check again to make sure that they are centered. Once I get everything draped over and relatively centered, what I'm going to want to do is connect this red link here to the open hook here. And then on the bottom here, we're going to be running this piece here through this tensioner. At which point we can go ahead and give it a good tug, and that is also going to help get it a little bit more centered for us. From there, what we're going to end up doing is going through, and it could depending on the tire size, we're going to first test it out by seeing if we can run it through just one of these loops here. We're going to try to bring this all the way across there. This tension leaves a little bit to be desired. So I think what we're going to try to do is go through that second loop, create a little bit more tension because we really do want to get these as snug as possible. This is already feeling much, much better. Good. Now they're on there good and snug and tight. We're going to go ahead and repeat this process on the other side, and then we should be ready for the road. So there's a look and at the installation and features of our Konig tire chains with the assisted tensioning. This is Curt at eTrailer. Thanks again for stopping by.